In the last several chapters, we've been learning the fundamentals of the PHP language and learning how to use those tools. And now we're ready to actually build some web pages and see how those PHP functions can work in the context of a website. If you stop and think about it, there are really only three ways that we can get data from our users on the web. The first is from URLs or links, what they type in the URL bar at the top of their browser, or by clicking on a link, which effectively does the same thing. It sends them to that URL. And we're all familiar with that. There's also web forms. You're familiar with how you can fill out a web form and send that data into the web server. And third, there are cookies, where a value has already been stored on a user's browser in a cookie, and we can retrieve that from the web server. But essentially, there are these three, and only these three ways, in which we can interact with the user. And there's another way that we can refer to these three types that you may be familiar with from learning HTML, and that is get, post, and cookie. We can do a get operation, which is when we do a URL or a link. Forms post data to the server, and cookies is pulling back a cookie from the server. And every web language has a different way to interact with these three techniques. And that's what we're going to be taking a look at in this chapter. And we're going to start out by looking at links. I'm going to open up the PHP sandbox alias that I created earlier on my desktop. And I'm going to open up basic.html, which is just some basic HTML, so I don't have to retype it each time. And I'm going to do a save as to create a new page. And I'm going to call this first page. And then I'm going to go ahead and put PHP at the end. So I'm going to make a page of PHP called first page and save it in my PHP sandbox. And let's go ahead and give it a name so we can have first page. And that way it'll be very clear which one we're working with. And let's go ahead and do another save as and create a second page, which of course we'll call second page. And we'll save that as well. Now we'll need to open up that first page again. Here we are. So now I have both pages, first page and second page. So go ahead and get caught up to there. Make sure that you have both a first page and a second page that we can work with and start to have interact with each other. Now PHP links are going to be just simple HTML links. If we want to get to the second page, we just put in a simple ahref equals and then the reference to secondpage.php. And we can then give the link a name. We'll call it second page. And then we can bring that up in our web browser. I'll open up Firefox and I'll go to http://localhost. If you're on a PC, that will probably be enough for you. If you're on a Mac, you're also going to need to include your username, PHP sandbox.